Good morning, everyone. This is the Ed Tech Talk Live sessions at the OETC conference. And with me is Sara Molski. And Sara is got a great title, I must say, the Assistant Policy Director at the Ohio Department of Higher Education. And I came across Sara a couple days ago, and tell us about what you were doing here at the conference.
Yeah, well, good morning, and thank you, Andrew. So we are actually not a part of the conference itself. I do work for the Ohio Department of Higher Education, although we are co-locating here with the conference. But in my role, I kind of have a dual role. I work in both policy and legislation, working on any initiatives out of the governor's office related to policy or areas of higher education, as well as tracking any legislation or working with the General Assembly on legislation they're working on. But in my other capacity, I staff what's called the Chancellor's Efficiency Advisory Committee. It was a committee that was formed in legislation by the General Assembly, and we are a committee designed of one member from each institution, public institutions from across the state, so there's 37. And we meet when the committee convenes just to talk about best practices and efficiency, etc. So this past Tuesday, the first day of the conference, we held our first efficiency summit. Normally we just have committee meetings a couple hours, but this was a all-day affair here at the conference, and it was really great. It was great to be a part of the OETC conference and then also talk about efficiency.
If we can combine maybe the topic of efficiency and technology.
Correct, yes.
And I attended some of the sessions and noticed that really those two go hand in hand. Technology can make our lives more efficient, and it's one thing we kind of lose focus of in an ed tech conference. We talk about the empowering effects and the really wild and crazy things, but technology can really make our lives more efficient. Can you maybe give us a flavor for those benefits?
Absolutely. So, as you said, technology does play a huge role in helping our institutions be more efficient. It's definitely something we're looking at. I want to just take a step back to kind of answer your question. Like I said, the committee's been around for about 3 years, but we are at the Department of Higher Education are constantly looking at ways that we can help our institutions cut costs and redeploy those savings to the students. And how can we improve the quality of education for our students? The State of Ohio Governor John Kasib put together a task force last year, and it was a task force on affordability and efficiency, and they met several times last year. And in October of 2015, they put together 10 recommendations on how institutions can be more efficient and help the affordability of college tuition and costs. And a couple of those recommendations involve technology. So, for example, one of the recommendations was for our colleges and institutions, public colleges and institutions, to take a look at their primary and secondary data recovery and disaster centers. We have what's called here through the state of Ohio, our Ohio Technology Consortium, the Super Computer Center of Ohio, Super Ohio Computer Center, called the SOC. And we're actually having our institutions take a look at transitioning and having them all come over to the SOC for their primary and secondary data recovery centers. So, and we're also asking them to take a look at digital tools in terms of education resources. What can we do to help students for textbooks and improving their costs on those kinds of things utilizing technology. So, and I think that just in general technology helps our institutions just be more efficient. One of the things that we looked at the summit was 4 institutions, Wright State University, Central State University, Sinclair, and I'm going to draw a blank, Central State, partnered together for their copier, printer, and service needs, and through a vendor, and they're collaborating on that technology to help lower costs.
Yesterday you attended Jaime Casap's presentation. What were your takeaways from that?
I really enjoyed Jaime a lot. There were a couple of takeaways that I had. One of my favorite components was talking about collaboration, which is something we definitely talk about in higher education with our institutions partnering more. It's a type of efficiency practice, but Jaime had made a comment how in education or in classroom, our students will give them a test, and they're expected to do this test on their own and come up and turn it in, and here's their answers. In the working world, in our when we're actually out in the field, we don't do that. We don't sit there and do it all on our own. We're constantly collaborating and working with others. And I thought that was a really good parallel, kind of looking at that parallelism or non-parallelism in terms of that. So that was a really big takeaway for me. I'm excited it's interesting what he's doing in Phoenix with this new school, or this school he's looking at, focusing on computer science. That was another takeaway as well. But I just really enjoyed his whole speech. He really gave us a good way of thinking about how technology just plays a huge role in education and how it's changed education. I think the final takeaway for me is I think it's very easy as a society to constantly say, like, what's the future going to look like? What's the future going to look like? I like this point of take it a day at a time. The future will come.
Yeah, technology is just going so rapidly. It's really hard to keep up, and
Right.
you almost just have to ride it out. As I've often said, kind of ride the wave rather than try and figure out. Any last thoughts on the conference from what you've seen so far?
No, it's just been fantastic. I'm relatively new to the Department of Higher Education, and so this is my first time attending, and it's incredible. I'm blown away almost. I'm really proud of our agency and about what we're able to do and the team that we have, that we were able to put together. The Chancellor Kerry yesterday kicked off the conference. I think he'll be kicking it off today as well, and I'm looking forward to our morning panelists. So it's just wonderful, and to see all the vendors here too, I think is really exciting for that opportunity for those that are actually in the field and those that are actually providing those resources to come together and talk is really cool too. So.
Great. All right. Well, we've got our speed geek questions. You can't leave without those. This is the most dangerous part of your day, I think. So here we go. You get 3 questions. Go ahead.
Okay.
You get music to your speed geek questions.
I know, right?
Your favorite browser?
Oh, that's a good one. So I think I'm going to have to go with Google.
Okay, Chrome.
I've been using Google now. I just recently switched. I had been using Internet Explorer, but I don't know. I've been switching over to Google.
It is a great browser. I agree. And Explorer's going away, so you left at the right time.
I didn't know that.
Well, they're changing it to Edge. Is what it's going to be called. Microsoft Edge. So same E, but a little different. And it's actually a pretty good browser. So
interesting. Did not know that. So you learn something new every day.
I know.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Ooh. Yep. Favorite operating system. So are you a Mac, PC?
So I've switched over to Apple a couple of years ago. I had started off with the Microsoft, and I didn't think I would switch. I really, really liked, I was comfortable with Microsoft. I had HPs, Dell, but I switched a couple of years ago because I got the iPhone, then got the Mac, and now I have an iPad, and so I'll have to go with OS.
Okay.
So I'll have to go with OS.
All right. And one more.
I like it.
Oh, that challenging one. So World of Warcraft, Angry Birds, or what's your favorite game if you have a game?
So I'm not a big gaming person myself. I'll probably go with Angry Birds if I did any of them, but I'm not my favorite is Solitaire. I really like Solitaire a lot.
Can't go wrong with Solitaire.
I don't know. It's just a fun game, and I like that it's electronic now because it's really efficient to play by yourself, just on your phone. So
it is kind of a soothing game. You know, it's more of a calming game. You know, most games kind of charge you up. This is kind of calm.
It just gives you that kind of, time to recharge. Kind of just let your mind wander a little bit while you're playing. So,
exactly.
So.
All right. Well, Sarah, thank you so much. You're doing great work, so you should be really proud of that. Ohio's doing wonderful stuff. Please check out our website on the Department of Higher Education's website under initiatives, affordability, and efficiency. Please check out what we're doing in terms of helping cut the costs of education and help our students make college more affordable. Great. Thanks.